This is Sukanya from Rich Global Edu, Senior Academic Advisor. This video is going to be about MBBS in Georgia, and there are a lot of confusions regarding MBBS in Georgia, especially for those who want to join MBBS in Georgia after 2021 National Medical Commission norms. So I hope this video will clarify certain things for you. And the major thing that we are going to see is about the licensing part, because this is what is of major confusion for most of the parents and students. So we are going to concentrate about the licensing part in this video. So we'll see three main things in this video. The first one is the difference between a junior doctor and an independent medical practitioner for an Indian student who joins MBBS in Georgia. This is very, very important. NPDQ exam, and this is one of the major exams that the students must know when you decide to join MBBS in Georgia, and I explain about this in the later part of the video. And the third thing is, what does it mean to actually say that the MD program abroad or in any country, let it be Georgia or Vietnam, is valid and aligned with that of MBBS in India. We're going to see what is the meaning of telling that the MD program that I've done abroad is valid in India. These are the three major things that we're going to concentrate in this video. Let's move on to the video. The first thing to clarify.
They have also mentioned that the junior doctor is eligible to fulfill all the duties and responsibilities of a resident doctor and is supervised under the medical practitioner in Georgia If the supervisor is not available, he or she is eligible to take the duties in the emergency. If the supervisor is not available, he or she is eligible to take the duties in the emergency and hence is equally treated as independent practitioner.
Now that video is one of the so-called top consultancy in India, and she is talking about the junior doctor position in Georgia. Now let's see what the law of Georgia actually says. She's also talking the points from this particular gazette that was released by the Ministry of Education of Science and Youth of Georgia. What is she talking about? She's talking about the law of Georgia on medical practice. The graduates of MD program have the right to be employed as a junior doctor. It's clearly given here that the graduates who complete the MD program in Georgia can be employed as a junior doctor. Now they are further explaining what this junior doctor means. It is a position occupied by an MD graduate from an accredited higher medical institution who shall perform the duties of the doctor according to instructions. They are not telling that they can perform the duties of the doctor. It doesn't end there. There's no full stop there. They are continuing that they can perform the duties of doctor only according to the instructions. According to the instructions of a senior doctor who is nothing but an independent medical practitioner. We'll come to that part later on. And there are no additional exams required for MD program graduates for the status of junior doctor. Yes, of course, there is no NPDQ exam or any entrance exam required if you are to work as a junior doctor in Georgia after completing your MD program. But the point is not that. Our National Medical Commission of India doesn't talk about becoming a junior doctor working under the supervision of an independent medical practitioner. The National Medical Commission of India wants the MD degree to be valid as that of India, to be equivalent to that of India. Let's see what it actually wants. In addition, according to Article 14, the junior doctor is authorized to fulfill the duties of the doctor and performs the clinical duties under the guidance of a certified specialist. If the certified doctor is not available, a junior doctor can provide emergency medical care independently. If the certified doctor is not available. So when can a junior doctor provide provide a medical care independently? Only in case of emergency. If the certified doctor or the senior independent medical practitioner is not available, he can provide medical care independently. Otherwise, he cannot provide independent medical care. This is a point to note. In general cases, a junior doctor, that is one who has completed the MD qualification in Georgia, cannot perform the duty independently. So we are clear with that now? And then they have to perform the duties only as per the instructions of the certified doctor. What does a certified doctor mean in Georgia? It is the independent medical practitioner. I'll tell you why in the later part of the video. It's clearly mentioned that the junior doctor can provide medical care independently only in case of emergencies, that too only if the independent practitioner is not available. So that's its role. So it has certain limitations. The junior doctor has certain limitations. He is not fully obliged to provide medical care independently. This doesn't mean that they are equal to an independent medical practitioner. So in that video, we saw her stating that since a junior doctor can provide medical care independently in case of emergency, in the absence of a certified doctor, hence he is equivalent to independent medical practitioner. I'm really concerned about this point, because how can the junior doctor become equivalent to an independent medical practitioner? It's just like telling that when my boss is absent in the office and when there is a client to handle, I handle the client. I'm just the staff, the employee in the office, working according to instructions of my boss. Now, how can I tell that? Just because I've handled the client in case of emergency in the absence of my boss, how can I tell that I am the boss? It just sounds like that. Moving on to the next part of the video. Now, why this is so important? As I told you earlier, the National Medical Commission of India, the NMC, mandates license or certificate to practice independently from the country of study. What does it mandate? It mandates a license or a certificate to practice independently from the country of study. Let me bring the major points in Georgia medical law to your notice so that you can understand this better. According to the Article 5B of the Georgian Medical Law, a state certificate confirming the right to engage in independent medical practice is issued only to independent medical practitioner. So when is Georgia providing a certificate, a state certificate for a physician or a doctor? It is only for an independent medical practitioner. Junior doctors, according to Article 5M of the Georgian Medical Law, do not receive any such certificate or license from the state. Clearly stated by the Georgian Medical Law, the junior doctors do not receive any certificate from the state. Okay, they just complete their MD degree and they can work as a junior doctor under the instruction of a certified doctor. And the certified doctor meaning independent medical practitioner, because a state certificate is provided only to an independent medical practitioner. I think this point is clear to you now. Now, additionally, Article 5P of the Georgian Medical Law defines certification. It is defining the word certification itself for us to be clear. So what does it define certification as? The process of granting the right to independent medical practice. I will read that line again. Georgian medical law defines certification as the process of granting the right to independent medical practice. So certification itself means the right to independent medical practice, which evaluates a doctor's ability to practice independently. However, the National Medical Commission or the NMC guidelines clearly require a license to practice medicine in the country of study, not just a diploma or a degree certificate. Now, if you complete just a MBBS or MD program in Georgia, you will be getting just a degree certificate. You will not get any state certificate or license stating that you can work as a doctor. So, but the National Medical Commission is told here requires a license to practice or a certificate stating that you can practice medicine in that country independently. So, as per the Georgian law, someone who completes the MBBS or the MD degree will not be issued any state license, making it non compliant with the NMC regulations. Just because you don't get any license or state certificate after you complete your MD degree to work as a junior doctor, immediately it becomes non compliant with the NMC regulations. Let's take this into consideration. Here's a keynote for you. Don't confuse yourself between a junior doctor status and the eligibility for an independent medical practitioner. I hope that I've made the point clear for you. Now, the second thing to clarify, misinterpretation about the NPDQE exam. What is that?
And the second important thing they have added is that there is no additional requirement to give NPDQ exam to practice as a junior doctor.
Again, in this video, we saw something about the NPDQE exam. She's talking about the NPDQE exam all of a sudden, and she states that it is not required for a junior doctor. Yes, of course, it's not required for a junior doctor. It is only required to do your PG and then apply for license as an independent medical practitioner. So I don't know why suddenly she is bringing in NPDQE part here, and even no one watching the video knows. Anyways, let's clarify this part now. As stated in the video by her, it is not a new addition to the Georgian medical law that the NPDQE exam is not required to practice as junior doctor. It is not at all a new addition. It is right from the beginning. The Georgian medical law does not ask any junior doctor to do the NPDQE exam. Let's understand about the NPDQE exam further. So what is NPDQE? It is the National Postgraduate Diploma Qualifying Examination. It's a post-diploma qualifying examination, which is nothing but after your MD degree, when you have to apply for the post-graduation, you have to clear this exam. The second thing, why is it needed? It's mandatory for postgraduate It is mandatory for postgraduate education and practicing independently in Georgia. Third thing, as per the law of Georgia, without passing this NPDQE exam and completing the post-graduation, MD graduate remains a junior doctor and is not licensed to practice independently. So this is the role of NPDQE exam. So junior doctor need not worry about it at all. So there's no need for a person who wants to work only as a junior doctor to take up the NPDQE. But if they want to get licensed to practice independently, definitely they must appear for this particular exam. Third thing to clarify. The Georgian medical degree is valid in India and across the globe. Yes, of course.
Clearly stated two biggest things. One, the Georgian medical degree is 100% valid in India and across the globe, and it also valid in UK. So students who were also assuming that whether they would be able to practice in UK after graduating from India or from Georgia or not. So yes, it would be the biggest plus point for all the students who are looking to practice in India or in UK after completing their MBBS from Georgia.
In this part of the video, she says that the Georgian medical degree is valid in India, in UK and across the globe. Yes, of course. Any country's medical degree which is accredited by certain organizations like the WFME, the WHO, the NMC, the FAMER and such accreditations is valid across the globe. Let me explain what does this actually mean. Say for example, I'm completing my MBBS degree in India. I want to practice in the UK. Okay, so after completing my MBBS and degree in India, I go to the UK and there are certain laws in the UK for medical practice. Now, a question for you to think on. Can a person who has completed the MD degree or an equivalent MBBS either from India or any other country immediately work as a doctor in UK? I leave this question to you because you should have done the research. Can I work in UK immediately after completing my MBBS in India? No, right? Why? because I have to undergo an entrance exam, which is known as the PLAB exam, as I told you earlier. Only after clearing the PLAB exam, PLAB exam, I can practice medicine in UK. Just because I've completed my MBBS in India, I need not do my MBBS or MD again in the UK, because my MBBS from India is valid in UK. I can use the same degree certificate. That's the meaning of this. Just because a person or a consultancy or any friend of you is telling that MBBS in Georgia or any other country is valid in India, please don't get carried away by those things. Research it thoroughly for yourself and then take a decision, because after 2021 it's very important to know the National Medical Commission norms and then do it accordingly.